The Museum of Extraordinary Things is a historical fiction novel written by Alice Hoffman in 2014. Set in early 20th century New York, it tells the story of Coralie Sardie, a young girl raised by her father in the Museum of Extraordinary Things, a sideshow attraction in Coney Island. Coralie's mother has passed away, and her father, known as the professor, has unconventional methods of raising her. He restricts her access to the museum until she turns 10, fearing it would be too frightening for her. However, when Coralie finally enters the museum, she discovers that she is destined to become one of its performers, the human mermaid, due to her swimming abilities and webbed fingers. Under her father's guidance, she undergoes rigorous training, swimming long distances, and consuming a fish-based diet. As Coralie becomes acquainted with the other unique individuals in her father's sideshow, such as conjoined twins, a wolf man, and an ancient tortoise, she wrestles with her own identity. She yearns to find a sense of belonging and struggles with self-acceptance, often hoping to discover gills in her throat as a validation of her uniqueness. Coralie's father, the professor, exerts control over her performances as the human mermaid. He dyes her hands blue for the shows and makes her wear gloves at all other times to conceal her webbed fingers. As Coralie grows older, the professor subjects her to private shows for a voyeuristic audience, pushing her into more explicit acts. In 1911, he devises a new plan to revive the show by having Coralie swim at night in the Hudson River, creating rumors of a mysterious creature. The publicity attracts attention and headlines, which the professor intends to exploit. However, during one night swim, Coralie is carried away by the river's current and loses her bearings. When she finally reaches land, she encounters a young man, Cohen. Though they don't exchange words, they experience an instant and profound connection. Eddie, a former Orthodox Jew, has distanced himself from his family and religion. He has become a press photographer and finds himself documenting the tragic Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, where workers are trapped with no means of escape. After the fire, a desperate father named Samuel Weiss approaches Eddie, seeking any information about his missing daughter, Hannah. Samuel wonders if Eddie might have witnessed or captured any evidence of Hannah during his coverage. He implores Eddie to assist in finding her. Meanwhile, during one of Coralie's river swims, she discovers the lifeless body of a woman. It turns out to be Hannah, whose lips have been sewn shut with blue thread. Troubled by the grisly discovery, Coralie confides in her father about the incident. Filled with excitement, Coralie's father insists on taking Hannah's body back to the museum to transform it into a sea monster exhibit. Meanwhile, Eddie conducts his own investigation into Hannah's disappearance. He seeks out a hermit who resides near the riverbanks and claims to have witnessed the transportation of the body. This revelation leads Eddie back to the museum, where he unexpectedly encounters Coralie once again. Determined to return Hannah's body to Samuel, Eddie and Coralie collaborate to smuggle it out of the museum. However, the enraged professor discovers Coralie's actions and retaliates by imprisoning her in the basement. As Eddie delves deeper into the mystery surrounding Hannah's murder, he uncovers a shocking truth. Hannah was an advocate for workers' rights and had become a target of Harry Block, a lawyer representing the factory owner. Block ordered his employee, Frank Herbert, to intimidate Hannah, but the situation escalated, resulting in her untimely demise. Panicked, Herbert disposed of her body in the Hudson River. Along his journey, Eddie also learns the truth about his own father. His father never attempted suicide but was a victim of attempted murder due to his support for labor unions. In a surprising twist, Eddie's father reveals that he has silently watched over his son, maintaining a deep love for him. Eddie reconciles with his father, re-establishing their bond. Meanwhile, a devastating fire engulfs Dreamland, another attraction in Coney Island. The flames inch closer to the Museum of Extraordinary Things. Tragically, the professor loses his life while attempting to extinguish the rooftop blaze. Eddie arrives just in time to rescue Coralie from the basement, and the two find refuge from the inferno by hiding inside the water tank where Coralie performed as the human mermaid. Following the fire, Eddie and Coralie decide to leave Coney Island together and embark on a new life as husband and wife. At the story's conclusion, Coralie pens a heartfelt letter to Maureen, the housekeeper, revealing the events that have transpired. It is subtly hinted that Maureen may be Coralie's biological mother, suggesting that the professor had deceived her with fabricated stories throughout her life. The Museum of Extraordinary Things received a warm reception from readers and critics alike. The Museum of Extraordinary Things captivated readers and critics, earning praise and accolades. The New York Times hailed it as a big, entertaining tale, acknowledging the occasional presence of anachronisms within the narrative. USA Today described it as an enchanting love story. The novel's popularity soared, propelling it onto the bestseller lists, and it even garnered a nomination for a Goodreads Choice Award. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.